the group. You know, to change something, you know, I just think you guys kind of got dealt a bad hand with some volatile people in the beginning, and then dealing with 10 days sequester.
That is
For both of you, what is one of your biggest insecurities? It can be internal or external, and how do you deal with it?
I would say for me, it's failure. I've succeeded at everything I've done. You know, I've tried to take on the most challenging things, as far as going from the Marine Corps to starting a business in a horrible economy at a horrible time with nothing but the grace of God and a pocket full of faith to leap out a window. And then for me, marriage has been the hardest thing. That's been really the hardest thing for me to just deal with, because I was single for so long and just set in my own ways, owned my own business, did what I wanted to do. That has been the scariest, but also the most rewarding thing I've done. And just not to fail my wife, not to fail my God.
Thank you.
Trust. Most definitely. It is very hard for me to trust. My parents, the church told them when I was 13 that I was too feminine, and they had to beat me to make me stronger, until I was old enough to check in and go through the anti-gay conversion therapy. And there it was electroshock, ice baths, sleep deprivation. They beat me with the Bibles, literally. Beat me to get the demon out of me. After several months, and it wasn't working, they sent me home. I was in the 9th grade, and my daddy pushed me out the door and locked it and left. He told me to go, just go. And so I've been on my own ever since. A year later, I already had an apartment. I was working my ass off. My brother is autistic. He's a little bit older than me. And it got to me through my family, my aunt, that Dad was putting him in a home. And I could not let that happen. And my brother has lived with me for the past 30 years. And coming here today is the longest that he and I have ever been apart. And I miss him.
What's your brother's name?
David. And I have to tell you that he has the biggest crush on you.
I'm so sick of everybody like your
There's a reason why.
Yeah, I'm saying. Make sure we understand that.
Listen, if he watches, he knows what a pain in the ass I am, and he's prepared for it. So I'm trying to talk him out of it.
No, he would just say, James, deal with it. That's my part.
How do you guys...
That's heroic of you, I just want to say.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
You see, we have like a lot of conflict in here from time to time. It's not like super duper intense, but okay. So it's sometimes like super duper intense, but how do you...
Super duper?
Super duper, that's real. That's like really, really hard.
That's
how
a
do you
Webster's
guys
word.
handle personal conflicts and then conflicts within a group?
Define personal conflict.
Personal conflict,
Please.
like for me, one of my biggest issues was my anger. Like I blow up. When I first got here, I was like really bad, and I took it over. And now like the way I fixed my personal conflict is I started to actually talk to the people that I had an issue with, and not just like talk out the issue, just talk to them, like get to know them better. And then that brought me back down a notch.
May I go?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have the most anger inside of me. I was, after everything that's happened here, and Hexon, you talked about with the drinking and then the anger, and then Rob had talked about wanting to just let things out and all that kind of stuff. With all that's going on, especially now with gays and people of color, transsexuals, lesbians, and the laws that are coming up in 2016, and probably at the 4th next month, there are going to be a lot of changes. And the thing is religious liberties over civil rights. Is gay marriage a civil right, or is blocking it a religious liberty? I know that's not part of the question, but here is the answer. Who the hell has the right to tell me at 47 years old, for everything that I've been through, you don't deserve it because you're not enough? That's my anger. How I deal with it, I grind my teeth. I bitch, I scream, I yell, I get protest signs, I picket, I put myself out there. How I handle group conflict, if I see something's coming and I can diffuse it, I will. If not, I'm gonna run like hell.
Good answer.
As far as myself, you know, when I got out of the Marine Corps, I was very angry man, just breaking off the handle. And it took almost a good decade to get over that. And I was really into drinking heavy. I would drink every night, and that's how I dealt with it, but I just kept pushing it down. And when I was finally out in Wyoming, I had gone to church and listened to the pastor. He gave us a homework session, you know, read through Proverbs, and it started from there. And once I dug into his word, it helped change my heart. And through that, you know, I could see through my life to where I was running from different things and just always a constant circle. And for me, when it was, I gave my trust back to God, rededicated my life, and just jumped out of a window of faith. And I've been extremely blessed from it. It has been not hard, or I mean, it hasn't been easy. It's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but it's just, I'm a much happier person. And, you know, 10, 15 years ago, I'd have been sitting down here looking at James, probably doing the same damn thing that he had to grow up with and suffer through. And for me, it just turned to where it's not about judgment. That can only be for God. My mission is just to love people. And I say, you know what? You want to get married, brother? Go for it. And as far as personal conflicts, they don't scare me. I thrive on it. I poke the bear. I giggle. And, you know, if somebody's getting really out of hand, when you see this chubby bastard coming at you going, do you want a hug? You want me to hug you? I'll just grab you and hug you. And when you can't get away, I'm just going to hug the hell out of you.
I gotta tell you, I think Nikki will like that hugging thing.
You can be part of the
Fights
massage.
with you a lot.
And we get a massage.
So no, you know, conflict is always going to happen. It's always going to arise. But I am a common sense, logical kind of guy. People to shreds with my words and my tongue. And that's just not who I want to be anymore. And, you know, I'd rather see it resolved friendly. We all have to live in the same little confined area. And for me to be stuck in one spot for longer than a day, that's why I do what I do, because I could get in the truck and go to 7, 8 different homes in a day. I start getting twitchy. So, no, I always try and diffuse. I'm not here to threaten anybody. I'm here to make them giggle, make light of it, and try and just love the people the best I can. And I'm not perfect.
Jeremy,
Yes.
how do you like to have fun?
How do I like to have
I
fun?
said stripping earlier.
Did
I just want to throw
you?
that out there.
What's that?
You like to strip?
Oh, when did I strip?
Oh, no. Oh, I thought it was serious. I thought it was serious when he talked about the stripping thing. I was gonna say. we
Oh,
got
the
something
tubby
to be shared.
tantalizers? No, my fun, I guess my utopia is my family property in northern Michigan. It, much like yourself, James, I came from a very strict Baptist household to where my parents have never really seen any faith in me. But my grandma always did, and we got north. And 113, 2 freshwater creeks boiling out of the yard, 5-acre pond, cedar swamp, oak forest. And for me, Grandma's awesome. You know, she was the one person that really had faith in me and just loved me for me, and it's crazy. So me, I love to be up north. I love to be in the family property. I've helped out my uncle and taken it kind of over with him. He owns it. Some of the bills and stuff, keep up maintenance. You get me up north, sit down in a chair and just look at my pond. Look at my pond and just relax. And I'm also a very avid shooter. Built my own gun range up north, so pistols, rifles, shotguns, skeet. If you can shoot it, I do. Also that. So I just, for me, fun.
Rob would have loved you, man.
Love to go up north, and that just, that's where my heart is. It's just on that property, and that's where I want to die. I want a Viking funeral, build a little ship, send me out there, shoot a bow and arrow, light me on fire.
I can help.
It seems I have a good sense of how you like to have fun. What are some of your values?
Well, as a person, I'm honest, I'm trustworthy. I am a friend to a fault. I trust 100% until given reason not to, and then I still trust again until given a reason not to. I like to build things, make things. I want everything pretty and everybody happy. It's not much, but it's very hard to do.
We found out. How long have these been growing?
It's beard maker. It's beard.
Let's see, it'll be a year in November. Yeah. Well, the good Lord shot it out in the back, so that's, yeah. The facial hair grows very quick. When I first started auditioning, I had the big, full, like the duck dude's beards or whatever.
They live 4 miles from me.
That's funny.
West Monroe, Louisiana,
That's classic.
Duck Dynasty, the Roberts.
I got a question. Do you like to party?
Is the Pope white?
That was such a Louisiana.
I do.
Pardon?
That was such a Louisiana
Where you
response.
going?
That means it's not serious anymore. We're done, right?
No, that was my serious question.
I just want to wash my hands.
You're gonna have to wait,
Why
but
didn't you wash your hands before this?
Pain all over.
Do you like to party?
thank you.
I did it for a lot of years, very hard. I'm having to get a little loose, but I don't go crazy anymore.
Amen
I'm
to
up for
that.
whatever, you know. My moral and personal beliefs. I don't think it's right for me to just get absolutely plastered. It's amusing. I'll tell you what, Hosey's a fun feller to party with. He's usually the center of attention. But yeah.
Can I say that I really appreciate you saying absolutely?
Absolutely, and tacos.
Absolutely love you saying.
Josh, tell him
Rainbow.
you're alter ego when you're drunk.
Hello.
I go from Fifi to if.
Nice. Cal, you got any questions?
Yeah, you both have significant others. You've left for a year. What's that like? And what are they?
In my position and with the inequality that I've had to deal with, and also the reason I cannot even mention his name is because it's still legal to fire someone in Louisiana for being gay. And after this airs and people put 2 and 2 together, he's been with this company for 26 years and he probably will be fired. So he was all for it, especially being as I'm an activist. I am a card carrying, ticket, picket sign making, and he wants better. He's never been out. He has spent his entire life in the closet, and that kills me. You can also be kicked out of a rental property in Louisiana. It's against the law for me to give blood, even though I have papers proving that I'm HIV negative and an organ donor. So that's how backwards it still is.
What was the question?
How's your wife feel about you being
Especially with the first couple of episodes and all the boobs and stuff flopping around. It's nothing but a skin show. She was a little iffy about that. But she works in the medical field, so it wasn't.
So she knows that people have boobs.
Oh yeah, she gets knuckle deep
glad
in
she
some
knows
nasty
that.
stuff.
Haven't seen him yet, Josh.